All right. Well, welcome everybody to our team call. I'm Executive Regional Vice President Marie Tomlinson, and this is a call for our whole organization, which includes myself and also the regions of Executive Regional Vice President Nair Erminsky and Regional Vice President Danielle Piper. So we have many of us on here from all over the U.S. We've also got our Aussie girls. Give us a little wave to the ladies over in Australia who are on the next day. They're on Thursday. We're on Wednesday night here. So thank you for getting on live. We know how important plugging in is to our success. So thank you for making time, especially I know at the end of the day, to be honest with you, most at the end of the day, I'm ready to just kind of like zone out. And so I got to kind of like come into my like last wind here to plug in, but it's always worth it. And I love connecting with you guys and learning from you. Or if you are, maybe I know some people are working and stuff and are going to be watching this on the recording. So just way to go for making it a priority. So tonight we are growing really, really quickly and having a lot of brand new people joining our team. And as a result, we actually have 2 people tonight that are going to share their story. So we usually have someone, share what we call your story, tell a little bit about their background, how they were introduced to Arbonne, what they want to do with Arbonne, all of that. So we're excited to get to hear from 2 people tonight, and then we're going to move into our training. So first, I'm going to go ahead and unmute Shelly, or if you want to unmute yourself, I'm going to go ahead and just throw the ball in your court and ask you to hop on. And Shelly, I would love to hear first if you would share with us who your sponsor is and how you met him or her. And then we would love to hear your story with us as you're getting started in your Arbonne journey.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Shelly from Adelaide, Australia. I am a hairdresser and a mum of 3. So I was first introduced to Arbonne by Yvonne. I'd actually heard of it a few years ago and used a few products on and off, but never really committed to anything. And it's funny how it happened, how I was introduced to Yvonne. My husband has his own plumbing business, and I was actually sick one day with food poisoning, and she was one of his customers that he was supposed to go to, and he had to reschedule her. So he went to her the next day, and he explained to her, my wife was sick, unfortunately. And she said, well, I have this business where it doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're out of it for whatever reason. Your business keeps working. And he had actually been asking me, why don't you do something online at home with the kids? Why don't you work from home? There's so much you can do. So he was the one that actually introduced Yvonne to me. And when he first got the call from her, I was such a skeptic. What is she gonna sell me? What a waste of time. What is this? Anyway, I hopped onto the call with her and she explained everything to me. And in the beginning, I'll admit, I was just being polite, like, yeah, okay, that sounds nice. That's great. And then it got to what your earning potential can be. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm never going to earn that as a hairdresser. I'm never, ever going to be able to provide that for my family as a hairdresser, working for myself, working for someone else. Even my husband with his own plumbing company, how long will it take him to get to that kind of earning potential, and what kind of money will we have to invest in the beginning to get there? So I thought, this has got to be, a joke, right? Like, no, surely not. But no, it was real. It was real. And this is just averages that I was looking at, which I couldn't believe. So I thought, no, you know what? I'm going to jump into this. If it can work for so many other people, why can't it work for me? Why can't I make something of this? So that was my first why, I guess, is to, if it's going to happen for so many other people, why can't it work for me? Secondly, I would love to be able to just take the pressure off of my husband. He works so hard for us, and we don't really get much quality time as a family. By the time the work's out of the way and the kids are in bed and everyone's tired, everyone wants to go to bed. So, and that's not why we had a family, was to just live day by day. We we want to spend time as a family. We want the best for our family. We want to give our kids the best that we can possibly give them. And I truly, honestly think that I can make something of this. I really, number one, I want to give my kids the best in products, in health, in eating. We've actually undergone a whole lifestyle change along with this as well. Like, we've changed our eating habits, we've changed our activity habits. And Arbonne was kind of just the icing on the cake for me. So it all just fit in. The timing worked really, really well. I'm on day 9 now of my 30 days to better health and doing great. Yay! So that's happening as well. And, you know, I want to give my family the best. And I truly think that Arbonne can provide the best. And not that maybe, not if, not but, it will be the best. It will, because I can make it. I'm just so passionate about it now. I guess, I mean, it's only been, 4 or 5 weeks that I've been into it. And I just think, you know what, I'm going to make something of this. I just have a really, really good feeling about it. And what's the worst that people can say is no. Like, some people that I've spoken to already are really, really interested. I've got 2 consultants under me already, but I'm not just going to rest there. I'm going to keep going. And a lot of people have come back to me and said, oh, you know, I don't really like selling products. I don't want to be a salesperson either. I'm not in it to sell products. I'm in it to share the business. Look at the opportunities that it can provide you with, and I'm going to grasp this opportunity. I'm going to take it for myself. Would you like to come along for the ride with me? Pretty much that's what I'm offering people, and that's the way that I see the business. So anybody who wants to come along for the ride with me is more than welcome to. You know, it just helps us build each other up, and it's awesome to be part of a community like that, where everybody is building up each other and not in a competitive environment like anywhere, any other industry that you're in is competitive. Who can be the best? Who gets the promotion? You know, but it's not like that. We're all in it for ourselves and each other, because by helping each other, then we help ourselves. And there's no other industry like that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think.
Thank you,
Arbonne,
Shelly. That is, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. And I've already picked out my Mercedes because I know what I'm going to get.
You're on your way to get it quick. That belief in your voice and that belief in your mindset and that decision, that's what'll take you there. It took me a long time to do that. So you have got it. Plug in with Yvonne and on our team like you're doing with this, and you're on your way. So I know you're inspiring others even right now. That was really inspiring and exciting. So thank you so much for sharing that. Go to the comments, if you go to the chat section and read the comments, because people were making some really lovely to you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, like I mentioned, we have another person that's going to share their story with us tonight. So Becky, if you want to unmute and hop on, we would love to hear your story as well. Or I can unmute you if you need me to. There you are.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
Okay, great. So thank you for the opportunity to share my story. I am new to Arbonne, and I just started in mid-May. So I really appreciate the chance to share my background in a little bit with you about why I chose Arbonne. So to begin, I'm married, and we have a 21-year-old son. So he's out of the house, and we're kind of on our way to that next stage in life. In my background, I worked in college administration for over 20 years, and I currently work at RIT as an assistant dean. And I was introduced to Arbonne through a spa party, and I was immediately impressed with Arbonne, the company, but also with their products. And I'm one of those people who's really concerned about the ingredients, what I put on my body, what I put in my body. I read what's in all the ingredients, and it's just something that I'm really worried about. So when I learned about Arbonne's ingredient policy, I felt comfortable and confident in using their products, and I felt really confident in the decision to start to use the 30 Days to Healthy Living program. I had great results, and I decided to sign on as a consultant really just for the discount. I had no intention of ever pursuing the business at that point in time. I really love my position at RIT, and I didn't think that I had the time to invest in a business. And I certainly do not see myself as a salesperson. I have no background in sales. My background is in education, and that was one of my really big concerns. I took a look at the business, and after looking at it, I started to see Arbonne as an opportunity to not just improve my health and wellness, but to help others to do the same. And as a consultant, I choose when I work and how many hours I invest in Arbonne. And through Arbonne, I have the opportunity to help other people reach their goals. And not just health and wellness goals, but financial and time freedom goals as well. And I'm not just selling products, I'm helping people. And so for my family, the extra income will mean working toward an earlier retirement, which will give us the flexibility to do more travel, more time working in our community, and more time together, more of the things that are really important to us as a family. And so helping others is something that I'm passionate about, and Arbonne affords me the opportunity to do that in ways that I never imagined. If you are someone who's ever thought, I wish I had the means to do more for yourself, more for your family, more for your community, or if you know someone who's looking for more, I would love to talk with you about this incredible business opportunity. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Becky, that was amazing. Thank you. It's so polished, but so personal and relatable. Like, thank you for that. And I love all of the different backgrounds that we have of people in Arbonne. Thank you so much for sharing your story. That was beautiful. Definitely check out the comments as well, because people are commenting in there. So now for those of you that are maybe new to this call or not aware, what we do each month is we take a book that inspires our calls. So we don't necessarily go by chapter, but the person who's training is going to share on inspired from the book of what, stood out most to them. And so the book we're currently going through is Girl Wash Your Face. I left it downstairs. I meant to bring it up so I could show you, but if you don't know what it is, reach out to us. We can share it with you. It's Girl Wash Your Face. I'm blanking on her name right now, but our trainer for tonight is Area Manager Kim Mason. And I love getting to hear and learn from Kim. So Kim, I'm going to go ahead and not take any more of your time and just turn it over to you to learn from.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. And here is the book, Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I love her. She is amazing. So I'm going to just share a little bit about some of my takeaways. Can you see the screen? Okay.
Yep.
So I just want to, okay. So first of all, full disclosure, I have not read the whole book. I'm just getting started. And every single thing that I have read so far, I love, because this girl, I feel like she's my soul sister, but she is so authentic and real and open and raw. And I love that, because what I've come to realize is before Arbonne, I was a very plastic person. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted everyone to think I was perfect, even though I knew I wasn't. And since I joined Arbonne, it's been 3 years. And I didn't know when I first started with Arbonne that it really was going to be a professional development company. And the protein is just like a cover-up. So, but what I found is when you read books like this, it changes you. And it doesn't just change your business, but it changes your life. So when I told my and I was going to share about Girl Wash Your Face, my daughter said, "Oh, when you wash your face, doesn't that help your face for not aging?" And I thought about the fun facts that we always share at our presentations, is that when you go to bed with your makeup on or without washing your face, your skin will age 7 times faster. And what I thought about this is there's such a correlation between that fact and renewing our mind, because when I didn't used to wash my face. I know it's gross, and that's another disclosure, but 3 years ago, I wasn't consistent in washing my face. I might have used bars. I don't even know what I used, cheapy stuff. But I remember when I was first establishing this habit, I would get out of bed and wash my face because I was thinking 7 days. I don't want to age at 7 days. And because of that, I started to establish habits that now morning and night, RE9 system. And if I miss any part of it, I know the difference because my skin is healthy. And when I think about that, I think about when you refresh your face, we also refresh our mind. So if you go to bed without washing your face, there's going to be a cumulative effect. The same thing is true if we don't refresh our mind. We need to refresh our mind to stay healthy. And so books like this really make me think about how do we train our brain? How do we mind our mind? And I was listening to a training by Miranda Bertram about leaders. And she was talking about the difference between managers and leaders. And she was saying, managers listen to themselves. Leaders talk to themselves. And when I thought about that, I thought, oh my goodness, this is exactly what this book is talking about. Because truly what we're doing when we listen to the lies is we're just listening to ourselves. It's actually mindless, and we're believing what our brain tells us. But if we are a leader, if we are going to change how we think, we need to talk to ourselves. We need to we need to take off false, the lies, and we need to put on truth. So what Rachel Hollis shares is the truth, because the whole book is about lies. But the truth, and she says this right in the very beginning, is that you and only you are ultimately responsible for who you become and how happy you are. And this is the truth. It's something that I don't know if we always think about. We don't always realize how much power is inside of us, because circumstances are going to come, and we don't always know how they're going to, what's going to come, but we can choose our response. Last year, at the beginning of 2017, I picked a word of the year, and I picked fearless. And I didn't know what the year was going to look like, but I just felt like that was what God was putting on my heart. And I decided from the beginning of 2017, I really started a journey of personal growth and development. And through reading books and training my brain, Train Your Brain was one of the big books, and having accountability, I started to cling to this truth. And I had no idea what I was going to need it for. But over the course of the last year, there have been a couple areas in my life that have been really, really hard. There have been circumstances that have been out of my control that could have completely rocked me and crumbled me as a person, and certain areas of my life would probably be broken if it wasn't for the fact that I was clinging to this truth and training my brain and building into myself. On the flip side, there are other areas in my life that have gone really, really well. And because I have trained my brain and have worked on personal development, I've been able to celebrate those and grow them. And I've had opportunities that I never even imagined. I never dreamed of happening a year ago when I look at these areas of my life. And I know that both of those things are because I have grasped this truth, that I am responsible for who I am. And this truth is something that we all can grasp and hold on to. Another thing that Rachel says is recognizing the lies we've come to accept about ourselves is the key to growing into a better version of ourselves. And I think that's so true. Recognizing those lies, we have to really unearth them. If we can identify the core of our struggle while simultaneously understanding that we are truly in control of conquering them, then we can utterly change our trajectory. And that is powerful. And it makes me think of The Slight Edge. We read that book last month. And The Slight Edge teaches that if you do a little bit every single day in the next direction, the upward trend will be if you're doing things in the positive direction. And the idea is they're easy to do, and you do a little bit at a time. the same is true. It's easy not to do, and that would be the downward trend. Now, when I think about that with speaking truth to ourselves, similar to Arbonne, when we speak truth or we speak positive affirmation, it is simple in the fact that it's not a complicated thing, but it's not always easy. And when we first start speaking truth to ourselves, when we first start facing the lies and saying this is not true and putting on truth, that is hard because it could be a completely different way of thinking. But when we do that, it gets easier over time, and it has that compound effect. So I really thought about how this goes together with it. Another thing that I was thinking about is there are 20 different chapters about different lies, and I think about what lie resonates most with you, because all of us are different, and some of us, as I'm reading, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, has she been in my head? Is this person experiencing life as I have? Because some of the things are so similar. Some things not as much. And one thing I would love just to challenge everyone is to look at the list of the different lies and think what resonates most with you. And if you don't have the book, I'll just read a couple of the chapters. And I highly encourage you can get it if I can find the table of contents. But the lie, something else will make me happy. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not good enough. I'm better than you. Loving him is enough for me. I'm not a good mom. I don't know how to be a good mom. I need to make myself smaller. And the list goes on and on. And one thing I would challenge you is to look at those, and maybe your lie isn't one of Rachel's. Maybe it's something else. Maybe there's something that you were told as a child or you believed as a child, and now you still believe it. You still go back to that. And in the book, at the end of each chapter, she has a little section that says things that helped me. And there's just a list of things that helped her face the lie and get through them. And so if you pick the lie or lies, several of them, that resonate most with you, and look at what she did to overcome them. A couple that stand out to me is I stopped comparing myself. In life, we can't compare ourselves to anyone else, especially with social media. Everyone puts the highlight reel up. Nobody is, well, no, actually, I really appreciate the people who show it like it is. Nair Umansi, I love her Facebook posts because they're real and authentic. And I think that's what we need to realize. But comparing ourselves to anybody else is a shame. And I think that we do it all of the time. And we can do it in Arbonne all of the time. And we see the highlight reel, but we don't see what happens behind the scenes. So that is something that is so, so powerful. And if I could get my young daughter to learn that now, I would be successful in life, because that is huge. Another one is I surrounded myself with positivity. This is so powerful. And this right here, what we're doing right now, is part of that. I never experienced the positivity, the truly encouraging community that I have in Arbonne. And when people are cheering for others to succeed, and we are all in this together, that is positivity. And I think when you start to surround yourself with positivity, you also start to notice the negativity. And it's almost like, wow, I didn't realize how ingrained that is, and how so many people, our first reaction is to say no. So being cognizant and being aware of who you are around and making a point of finding people who are positive. And another thing she said in one of the sections is, I reordered my list. When you talk to women about their priorities, they often list different people and different things, and they never make the list. They never put themselves on the list. And if we are going to fill someone else's cup, we have to fill our own. That is really important, and that is very powerful. And so, and not feel guilty about putting ourselves on the list. So taking care of ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually is so, so important. Another thing that Miranda said when she was talking about leaders is leaders do it anyway. The biggest thing about being an excellent leader is having a decided heart. Doubt kills more dreams than fear does any day. Feel the fear and do it anyways. And when I think about the lies are truly what we hang on to. The lies are fear and doubt. We doubt if we're good enough. We doubt if we deserve it. Those are lies. We all deserve success. We all deserve to be happy, and we all can do that. Just as the truth says, we are in charge of that. And leaders show others how to do that. Once you decide that you are going to do this and you're choosing to grow and change and be bigger and better than you are today, you can show others how to do the same thing. Truth combats fear and doubt. So any of those fears, as you look at the lies, you can choose what is the opposite of this? What is the truth? And put that truth on every single day. Just like we have to wash our face every single day. We don't wash it once a week and then say, okay, I'm good. And then, because all those other days, your face is going to age those, a week at a time, every night. We have to put truth on to combat those fears and doubts and to fight the lies that are in there. Another thing that Miranda said is leaders are hungry for personal growth. Managers are hungry for personal time. And when I heard that, I was so struck that we have to have a thirst for personal growth, because we never know when we're going to need the growth. We never know when the highs are going to hit or when the lows are going to hit. And so personal growth is reading books, making a choice to read books that will feed your mind daily. 10 minutes a day. In The Slight Edge, the author, which I can't remember his name right now, recommends if you read 10 minutes a day, you will read 12 books a year or whatever it is. And choosing to feed your mind daily is a choice that leaders make. And by leaders, if you're discounting this and saying, oh, I'm not a leader because there's no one on my team. If you're a leader, you're a team of one, you're a leader. You are a leader in your home. You are a leader in your community. You're a leader in your outside employment. You are a leader in your family. There are so many ways that we lead. And you can impact all of those by making a choice to read and feed your mind. The Miracle Morning is something that I have found when I started on my journey that has been very, very helpful for me. And this is taking time to feed yourself and have a routine every single morning before you start your day, before you look at your cell phone, before you get on social media, before you do anything else. And it includes reading, journaling, doing positive affirmations, making a list of things you're grateful for, and then you can include physical activity. And those routines establish so many things to set off your day, to make it positive, and to fill your cup before you start filling others. Daily affirmations is something that is a choice, and it is so, so important. It's taking all of these and flipping them and telling yourself the truth and doing it regularly, because we hear the lies so easy and often. Another thing is being on team calls. So just like what you're doing now, and our nation call later at 9:30 or whenever it is in Australia, is being connected. Because even if we can't physically touch people, we touch each other, we can see each other. And this is part of surrounding yourself with positive. And also having accountability partners. So if you choose to grow, tell somebody that you trust, this is what my goal is. This is what I want to do. I want you to speak the truth to me, because there's going to be some days that I don't want to do it. There's going to be some days that I want to ask people to host or to hear about my business. And you need to tell me the truth. You need to remind me of my why. You need to bring me back to this. And I'll do the same for you. So those are some ways that you can feed yourself and create a thirst for personal growth. So before you go to bed each night, wash your face. Literally wash your face, but also renew your mind. Put on truth. And the first thing you do when you wake up is wash your face again and put it on. So speak truth and combat the lies. And that is all I got.
Kim, thank you so much for that. I know that is going to help many. It helped me. I took a lot of notes, and that was just an awesome summary and awesome different ways you tied in specifically to our Arbonne business. So thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.